I've just spent a bunch of time working on a project, got all my point groups set up and done, but I need those point groups in another drawing. This is really easy to do in Civil 3D, but there's some issues of sophistication and nuance, as usual, with Civil 3D in this regard. So I have a whole bunch of point groups in this drawing. In this case, I happen to be using alignment-based point groups and in combination with regular point groups. And I want some of those point groups to become part of my standard. Over in my local drive, I have a resources folder. Everything is pointed to a common resources folder. And in my 00 resources, I have a styles and a jump kit folder with all kinds of numbered styles folders. And in there, I have a point groups folder. And in here, the framework for Civil 3D comes with a whole bunch of predefined text files. We can take a real quick look at what those look like. They allow you to find your point group, copy the include and exclude information to the right place in a point group, so you don't have to do all the typing and figure it all out, which is a good thing. But in this case, I have a drawing with a whole bunch of point groups that I spent a bunch of time getting my deliverables sorted out, and I want to make a new drawing to become part of my standard. And one of the things I know in advance is that the point groups are going to go in backwards anyway. I want to create a drawing that's just got the right stuff in it. I need to create another new drawing. In this drawing, I'm going to start from a no styles template. This drawing is all set up, it's got the right line types and all that kind of stuff. All my default stuff is already built into it, but there are no Civil 3D styles of any kind. Everything is standard. It's all made from code. I want to save that thing, not in my current project where I'm working, but up in my standards folder, in my styles folder, and you don't have to use all that nifty stuff, but I'm going to put it in my points group. I'm just going to call it groups 01. So now pretty simple in the prospector. I want to make sure I'm working in master view. I want to keep that drawing current. And down in my drawing with all my point groups, I want to simply select out of here what point groups I want. I can drag and drop them one at a time, or I can select out of the list. We're going to select the point groups that I want. Some of these I may want to rename and change once they become my standard, but for now I want all their details and all that stuff. When we've got all those selected, now I simply want to drag and drop them over into my groups drawing. All done. And now I have the point groups in reverse order so that when I put them back into another drawing, they'll come on in the right order, which is a pretty nifty little trick. Now some of these I might want to do a little renaming, cleaning up. These are really, this is pretty much all storm drain stuff, so we're going to name it UTSD, and then go through the process and clean things up. One of the other things we can do that's pretty useful is we can purge styles. If there are things in use that we do not want to be included, we can swap, change, or replace. So over my settings tab, it's a pretty good idea. Take a look, and are these the label styles I want? Do I want some of these label styles replaced and not employ those? If I find one, I can find the references to it, and you see it's in control. We're using that label, so I can actually replace labels so I can work on my standard, see how many there are, and once again, these will all be inside point groups. I can replace with a different style, import styles, clean things up, get my standard file all set up and made better. So that whole general idea is to get the groups over into a no styles drawing, clean them all up, start working on my standards. So I've got a set of point groups that I can insert into different kinds of projects, or any different project that I have. I can work on a standard set of groups with all the right styles, and I don't have to have all that stuff built into my template. And if you're in Civil 3D 17, that would become part of your reference template configuration.